start, of course, Willie, with American politics, which I think has seen perhaps one of the most dramatic changes for any candidate's fortune, or even actually a presidential primary in 1 week's time that we've ever seen. You know, it was a week ago that Joe Biden was still considered to be on the ropes, a guy out of money, a guy with no organization to speak of, who had no offices in many of the key states. He was considered to be on his last leg. 1 week later, he is the dominant force in Democratic politics. The president even laying off of him right now. Mayor Pete got out of the race. Amy Klobuchar got out of the race. Mike Bloomberg got out of the race. Yesterday, Elizabeth Warren got out of the race. I mean, the dominoes are falling very quickly. It's been nothing short of extraordinary.
Absolutely stunning, Joe. And as you say rightly, a week ago right now, as we sat here, we knew that Joe Biden was going to win South Carolina. We had a good sense of that. Remember, Bernie Sanders had basically pulled up stakes, conceded the state to him. But we didn't know what that win was going to mean for Super Tuesday. We wondered if it was going to be a South Carolina story because he had long support there with African-American voters, or something bigger. And it was something much, much bigger than we anticipated, or again, even than the Biden campaign anticipated. Talking to people around his campaign, even on Tuesday night as these results were coming in, they were stunned. They were shocked. And as you say, the establishment and Democrats are now falling in line with him. People across the state of Michigan, the governor there, falling in line, making her endorsement on this show yesterday, a state that he'd like to snatch away from Bernie Sanders. This race changed entirely because of what happened in South Carolina, as it served as a springboard into Super Tuesday and beyond.
And now it looks as if, Mika, Sanders is going to cede the South.
Right.
It looks like he's pulling up stakes in Mississippi. Michigan appears to be his Waterloo. We'll see how that goes. I mean, his Waterloo if he loses it. But getting back to the clips that we showed on the way in, we've had the head of the World Health Organization and other health experts across the planet say that the crisis is here.
Yeah.
And yet governments, including our own, I would say especially our own, other than China, are responding in a clumsy, ham-fisted way. And unfortunately, just as you had with China at the beginning of this outbreak, you have the President of the United States who's actually spreading disinformation, trying to tell everybody there's nothing to worry about, telling people to go back to work if they want to. That his words, go back to work while you have the coronavirus. That is the quickest way to turn this epidemic into a pandemic. The President of the United States also this week saying that it's going to just go away magically.
A miracle.
There's going to be a miracle. You just look at all of his statements, and it's almost as if Donald Trump is actively working to tank the stock market. It keeps collapsing for a reason. It's collapsing because airline officials are panicked. They're going to the President of the United States talking about possibly the worst drop that they've ever had in business. It rivals and may actually end up being far worse than what happened on 9/11. He has other leaders talking about the supply chains across the planet being broken up. And he thinks that actually being cheerful and lying to the American people, and they're obvious lies, lying to the American people about the disease, the virus, about being able to work even if you have the virus, talking about how it's just going to go away when the weather warms up. That's only making the markets more concerned, which is why, once again, we had a collapse on Wall Street yesterday, and once again this morning, stock futures way down.
So his advisors, people like us may say, you know, it's not right for him to lie about this or to mischaracterize it, but the rubber will meet the road for this president politically. This is where his lies don't work for people at all, and that will be uniform across America, including his people.
Donnie, can I talk to you about that? And just talk about, if you're a CEO, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, and you have this crisis coming, there's only one thing you need. You need truth. You need certainty. And what I've learned from really great leaders in the past is they give you the bad news up front. They tell you, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. This is how we prepare for it. And then you prepare for it. And then when it turns out to be not as bad as you prepared for, suddenly you look at that leader and said, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Why would we expect a president who lies on an average of 7.4 times a day over the last 3.5 years to tell the truth about something important? Yes, leadership is about honesty, and the market is reacting to the one thing they always react to, uncertainty. Here's the speech Donald Trump needs to give. Look, this is serious. We're going to figure it out. The best people in the world are working on it. We're going to have a every other day update. And that is it. There's only one way to handle it. Direct, truthful, strong, and you can still put I don't want to say a happy face on it, but say, we will figure it out. We are the United States of America, and I am here to protect people. And we are going to go overboard to protect people, where he's doing the opposite. He's leaving people unprotected. One more instance of his sociopathic behavior.
Well, we're supposed to be leading on this.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.